What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Flicking with Skip. Here on a very special episode, a first of what I hope is many, with comedian Dylan Farr, who is your autistic Spitfire. You can check him out on all the socials, almost all the socials at Autistic Spitfire Comedy, which you should do.
Yep.
Dylan, welcome to Flicking
Hello.
with Skip.
I am more than excited to be here. This is actually I've always wanted to do movie reviews for a long time. So the fact that you're actually including me in this means the world to me in more ways than I can express.
Well, I'm glad to hear that because the crazy thing was I didn't even mean to do it. I really wanted to, and so and I was looking for something to do while we were working on animation, and all the people that I'd been working with, they just kept dropping off the show, and so I realized I was going to be doing the animation, and what do I want to talk about? And of course, it's movies because I love movies. I love watching movies, and I love to think about movies. As a writer, and as well as all the other things that we do as artists, and then I've had another co-host not be able to be on the show anymore as of recently because his schedule got super busy, and so it's just then you came on and you're like, hey, do you want to do a show? You want to do a podcast about reviewing movies? And I was like, oh my god, it couldn't have come at a more perfect time for you to show up. It was as if you were reading my DMs. So good timing.
I was just excited. I was. I'll be honest. It came at a time when I was feeling very depressed and I was feeling somewhat useless. So I was like, reach out to Skip. Maybe maybe he'd be interested in doing this.
Bro, I love that shit. Have you listened to the telepathy tapes at all, the season 1 or season 2, I guess, but
no,
season 1 in particular? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't. What are they?
So the telepathy tapes is a type of science that it hasn't been nailed down too much, but there's a set of autistic non-speakers who are being able to speak through using letter spelling, or using devices like iPads and stuff to type out their thoughts. And
like the chick in The Accountant.
Okay, I didn't know that it was okay. So you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So I mean,
yes, I do.
And then it turns out that people who are unable to speak not only are possessing savant skills, but they're also able to tap into the subconscious realm and read people's minds and stuff. Provably scientifically.
Why are autistic people getting all the superpowers?
Well, so here's the thing that's cool about this study is that it's beginning to understand that it's not just autistic people, but they're the ones who are expressing the most of it. And so humans are capable because what it's this understanding that our consciousness is an antenna that draws from the internet versus we're a force in nature that's pushing outwards. So.
Okay.
Yeah, right. And so non-speakers are more highly focused because all of their other senses are not on the things that are happening here, but the thing they're actually attached into. So it's turning some ideas on their head, kind of controversial. Some people want to call it pseudoscience. Things like this for me, Dylan, when you and I are thinking about how we can solve this problem together, and then it happens, we're like, oh yeah, cool, we're thinking the same thought, let's do a show together. That's why I'm like, yeah, that's probably the universe working through the two of us together to do this. So I'm excited. As soon as he messaged me, I was excited. I was like, Dylan's one of my favorite people to hang out with. We're going to talk about one of my favorite topics. Let's do this.
I'm excited because I'm hoping if you find that this goes well enough with me that we're gonna get to do some very fun movies as well. I'm sorry, if we get to review My Name is Bruce, I'm gonna go nuts.
Oh, dude, My Name is Bruce for the New Year's, guys. We're definitely gonna do it because My Name is Bruce is awesome. Top of the list of movies, and I don't think it gets reviewed very often. The next one I want to do is Demolition Man, and we're planning to do that next week, you and I. So
Yes.
yeah, sweet. Because yeah, we're doing a show. Obviously, Taco Bell and Three Seashells. Because it's a cause and
They never
effects kind of
explained
episode.
how the three seashells
I
work.
don't know if we want to know how the Three
There's there's
Seashells work. Is
there's
really
a
what
whole
I was the conclusion
there's
of
a
content.
whole online community like just speculating on how the three seashells work.
Well, this is
Like when
well.
Sandra Bullock got asked, she was being interviewed at Gravity,
Uh-huh.
the premiere of the movie Gravity. He got asked, "How did the three
How do the
seashells
Three
work?"
Seashells work? Because people still want to know. Yeah, it's an iconic movie, and that's what I'm hoping, Dylan, you and I we're going to be looking at is kind of like the iconic movies from our generation, but also like through history. Like in a couple of weeks, we're having a friend on, Kate Leo, who's a singer for the show and actress. She plays Luna on Cox in Space. And she is coming on. We're going to talk about her favorite movies, which are like classic films from the 40s. Billy
Oh.
Wilder, yeah. So we're gonna do a compare contrast because he has such a great thing. But like that's why I'm like, yeah, I really want to talk about like why we love movies because we do. And tonight we're gonna be talking about Coneheads from 1993, which I'm so glad it popped up randomly on YouTube at one point before it got bought by Paramount. I think is what happened recently as it got acquired
Yeah,
or by Disney recently.
I
I
had
think is
to
what happened.
borrow. I had to borrow my friend's Paramount password to be like, I need to review this movie. I need to refresh my memory on this movie.
There you go. Yeah, so it got acquired by Paramount recently, and so it switched hands, and so it's different servers as it happens. But yeah, I hadn't seen it, and I think I saw it. I saw it in like a passed out state a couple of weeks ago, so I caught part of the movie, and then I hadn't seen it in probably like 20 or something years or so. I'm guessing probably when it came out or shortly thereafter. But one thing I noticed about this movie, this is what I want to talk about, is how this movie is kind of like the who's who of 90s comedy. Like, as I was watching, I was like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
there's that guy. Obviously, Dan Aykroyd and Jane Curtin. But Eddie Griffin, Phil Hartman, Adam Sandler, David Spade.
Drew Carey.
Drew Carey shows up for a second. Michael Keane, who, if you don't know
Sinbad.
him, you've seen him. Sinbad's in it. And so you just like, and it just keeps going on and on and on. Ellen DeGeneres. Like, are you
I
kidding?
couldn't place Ellen. I couldn't find Ellen.
I will, yeah, we'll, I want to talk about all of them. I was just really excited. And then all the things. Because obviously, and this is the thing about Ellen's appearance. Well, I mean, we can scratch off the list now. The thing about Ellen's appearance, she's the swim coach when the girl is like diving. Yeah, she has a ponytail, so she doesn't look like herself at all because we know her with the
She
short
doesn't.
short bob, right?
Yeah.
And so I only recognized her because I knew what young 90s Ellen looked like when she was doing her stand-up sets. And she used to have like she has, in my opinion, she probably had to do this as a form of protection, but she's like taken a much more fierce look in her older age, where she used to try to
She's
come up.
turning into Nosferatu.
Okay, there's an opinion. People who have opinions on the show are expressing their own opinions. I should point out. I don't. I mean, it's a good bit. I don't want to have Ellen coming out
Sorry,
after
that
us.
was a meme. That was a meme. That was a meme that said they compared how Max Strack looks.
I might have to pop it up on the screen. But yeah, I just don't want her coming after us to try to suck our blood because we don't have a whole lot of blood for her to spare. I mean, she'll try to take it anyway, but but like, I mean, in the 90s, she was like cutesy. She was still trying to appeal, to like sort of a gender normative. I think there was, when did she come out on a show? Was it 93 or 94? Is like right around this time?
I don't remember.
It might be later. It might be. It might be 96. It's called the Puppy Episode, and the Puppy Episode happens in 97. So yeah, and that was kind of the feeling that I had with her, is that she was like still she was like trying to appeal to a general audience. Where I think that she's been allowed to like, become her own self. And so
Yeah,
funny.
April 14th, 97.
Yeah. Um,
Sorry, I apologize. I was looking it up because I'm like, that's actually a really good question, and I want
yeah,
to
no,
know the
that's
answer
no
to it.
apologies there. I'm glad you called out the date specifically. It's good for us to know when that is as far as the timeline, because like how she's like a superstar, like she's just a household name, like a cultural icon, irreplaceable, well known. Hater or lover, she exists and she's in the zeitgeist of the human community at this time, right? Um,
Yeah.
but like in this movie, if you don't like pause to notice, you may not even notice that she's like trying to tell the freaking Conehead girl that she needs to dive well, because that's the only thing. She has like one line. She's a bit character. Um, it's weird to say that Ellen is in this movie at all, because like I don't know, 30 frames maybe.
They, it's it was like a very quick. She was explaining how to do the dive
That's it. Yeah.
to Connie Conehead, so it like took maybe 30 seconds, 45 seconds.
Now, do
That's
you?
like that's like Drew Carey had like maybe 30 seconds to a
Yeah,
minute on there.
let's get him out the way too. Yeah, because Drew Carey. So there's a bit where the main Conehead is driving a cab for a living, making some money, right? So they can get it together. Um, and Drew Carey pops in the back of the cab, and he asks for directions to a hospital, right?
No, the airport. He
The
says
airport,
LaGuardia Airport,
LaGuardia. Yeah,
and he's like, "You want me to take this route, or this route?"
right.
He's
Yeah.
like, "This route has more lights but less traffic." And he's like, "Well, which one would you recommend?" And he's like, he says the third route that has more lights but less traffic.
Right, right. And that's it. Drew Carey, who is also very well known. Well known when he was really heavy set. Well known when he was very thin. He had his own show. He's been on Whose Line Is It Anyway? I mean, he like was like hosting Whose Line Is It Anyway? What has he done more recently? Because I know he's done a bunch of things. Um, like in the last like couple of decades. It's not like Drew Carey just fell off.
Let me see. Um,
Like I know that he
Most
had.
notably, he the last he became more of a producer than an actor. Let me see what his acting skills.
Yeah,
The
that
last
makes
thing
sense.
he was on an episode of Wayne Brady's What If with Jonathan Magnum. He was on American Housewife in 2019. He was on NCIS in 2018. He voiced himself on The Simpsons.
I guess that's the sort of cultural icon I'm talking about, where he's like he's being lampooned on The Simpsons, and he's just a random dude who's jumping into the back of the cab in Coneheads. Uh,
Yeah.
like
Now he's most notably hosting The Price is Right.
oh right, okay, I know he was doing something great, like some big like cultural achievement had occurred, um, which is cool. Yeah, he was executive producer for Whose Line Is It Anyway for 234 episodes. Um,
Yep. I think he was there for the Richard Simmons episode when Richard Simmons came on Whose Line.
I did not even know that existed. Um,
If you've never seen it, that is pure comedy gold. It is just one of the greatest episodes of Whose Line Is It Anyways.
so he's Richard Simmons, who's like 50 or 60.
He died. He died a few years back, if I remember correctly.
Do you know how old
Let
he
me
was when
check.
he died? Okay, so he's on it
Okay.
in 2003.
Let's continue the show.
Okay, hang
Let
on.
me
We're,
check.
we're gonna
Uh,
switch over and watch that bit right now. Are you down to watch that bit right now?
Yes.
Because yeah, let's do that. I was not expecting it, but let me stop
He
sharing.
died on my birthday 2 years ago.
Oh wow! And how old is he then?
He was 70. Sorry, 76.
Okay, so 76 and 23. makes him.
He died the day after his birthday. He was born July 12th.
With a game called, I love this game, Living Scenery. This is for
Can you hear that?
Yes,
Ryan,
I can
Colin,
hear that.
and Wayne. And Richard Simmons, everybody. Richard Simmons.
Okay, so he's in his 50s, like mid-50s.
Richard Simmons?
Yep,
I didn't.
I remember this.
Living Scenery.
The
This is my
One
favorite
of the-
game. How about you all?
I loved Richard Simmons'
Suddenly, it's my
energy.
favorite game, too, all of a sudden.
Thanks, Mr. Carey.
Call me Drew. This game... Ryan and Colin are going to act out a scene. And during the scene, they have to use a number of props.
His energy is
since they don't have any real props
wild.
to work
We're
with.
probably going to watch all this. It is.
Wayne and Richard Simmons are going to stand and become the props.
I'll be all the props for these men.
Hey, Drew.
I
He
got
was
you.
just
That is that is a good bit.
Oh yeah, it gets a lot better with it because when he's actually like the scenery, like there's one point he's supposed to be like a jet ski,
Oh my
and
god.
it's just he comes up like he's part of the jet ski, and it looks like he's giving a blowjob.
Yeah, like, I see
And he,
that he's
shakes
like
his head back
it's
and
no
forth.
longer about the games and it's all about Richard Simmons being the entertainment. He is funny. He I didn't realize that he would be able to, but like I also see that that's bit. The reason I was switching away from that is because of we're doing a Conehead bit, a Conehead review, and Richard Simmons is not in Coneheads. So
No, he wasn't. But
it's we get to see Drew Carey, who the host of the show, and like wildly successful to have Richard Simmons on to do this shows up in the back of the cab in the Coneheads. Again, and the only reason it's not that I don't want to watch the bit is one, it's going to be censored, and then we have a whole bunch of people to get through on this one.
oh yeah.
And I don't want to blow our wad on Richard Simmons, is all. I do want to do one thing real quick, because we should probably do this for our viewers who are unfamiliar with Coneheads, and just kind of like sum up what the movie's about real quick, and then we can get into all the rest of the actors if that's cool. I think we got the two most most well-known who were like background characters basically. Now, do you want to sum up Coneheads?
So it begins with our main characters, well, first it scans across a radar room, which is that's on some sort of military base.
Well, it's actually, they pull a bit on us, which is really funny, because you were right the first time, in that we see the spaceship first, and then it scans across a radar room, and in that scene, they're watching a Star Trek scene, so it's sending like this mixed message, right? And so like you feel like you're on a spaceship, and then you're not, and then there's a camera gag where you find out that you're on Earth. And like there's a dude who's just watching Star Trek instead of watching the satellite, his radar, where you're supposed to be watching for the ship that's coming in. Yeah, this movie is packed full of jokes like that.
If I remember correctly, first it opens up just scanning across first a microphone that would be in the radar room, and then you hear the breathing of the Gorn from Star Trek. From that
I got you.
This episode where William Shatner fights the Gorn.
Yeah.
Captain James T. Kirk
which
fights
is
the Gorn.
foreshadowing to the end of the movie.
Rather than,
Because essentially,
exactly.
right, like it's a Gorn fight at the end of the movie. I'm sorry to jump so far ahead, but it turns out, right, like on this spaceship is this Conehead who is him and his soulmate, packmate. Um,
Soulmate, what?
what do they call each other?
Yeah,
Breed
life
mates?
mate. I think life
They
mate or something.
they speak a very strange version of English.
Yes,
Um, and nesting mate.
yes. Nesting mate. That's what it was.
Goddamn.
Nesting mate.
Nesting mates.
Now
Uh,
I just want to call any girl I try to date my nesting mate.
right, be like, hey, do you want to be my nesting mate? Maybe you go over better, because then they'd understand exactly what it was. Like, you're like, I just want to build a nest where we can, climb into a pile of rags
Yeah.
together. As one
But
would
it
comfortably
starts
nest.
out with. It starts out where they get picked up on radar, like the ship does,
Right.
and they send out fighter jets to
Oh my
go
God, I
in
forgot.
and
That's why they get right.
attack. Like, and then it cuts to the spaceship, and it's like a bickering married couple. It's like, you've activated the cloaking device.
The cloaking device.
He's like, ah.
Well,
Like,
okay,
that
let's-
sound Dan Aykroyd makes every time.
Yeah.
Every time, like, he gets frustrated or something. Like,
Well, the two of them do it too, and there's some really good, like, well-timed ones when he has an emotional reaction to, say, like, his daughter growing up. He lets out this, like, the longest, like, groan you have ever heard caught on camera.
And I know that you don't believe me, but I'm in love with Ronnie. Daddy, if you really care, you'll let me say goodbye to him.
And it's so funny because only Dan Aykroyd can do it because he's seriously committing to the bit. You know what I mean? He's just, like, literally,
Yeah.
like, letting his soul groan.
oh my gosh, it is just. It was one of my favorite, like, sayings, though, that he constantly kept saying throughout the movie, though.
Which is that?
The maintain low tones. Maintain low tones.
Maintain low tones.
Like, don't raise your voice at me.
Yeah, all right.
Don't
Maintain low
raise your
tones.
voice at me.
Maintain low tones. So after rewatching this movie, I realized that Nathan Pyle of Strange Planet has basically just ripped off the whole Conehead speech pattern thing.
Huh.
Right? You know what I'm talking about? The comic Strange Planet? It's now a cartoon on AI Plus or Apple Plus.
I've not seen that. I don't have Apple Plus.
That's all right. It was like a webcomic for a long time, but like he does aliens in the same way that they describe human actions, but like with abstractions to make us realize what it is. It's definitely in the bit.
Okay.
But so Dan Aykroyd and Jane Curtin are the two Coneheads, and if I remember correctly, this started out as an SNL bit. With the two of them, or with Dan Aykroyd and somebody else?
Yeah. It started out as an SNL bit. Let me look up the history of Coneheads.
I got you.
That would actually be something.
And Dan Aykroyd, as we were talking in the green room before we got rolling, he is really well known for comedy of the 80s and 90s, especially because he's associated with the SNL crowd. I think most notably Ghostbusters, although he shows up in quite a lot of places, but mainly it's his own work that he shines the most in. Because like in this movie, what we find out is Dan is a weird dude. To come up with Coneheads as a concept and want to play the main character of it means that you want to be a fucking goofball. For like 6 or 8 months when you play it on set and spend a considerable amount of time and money on the concept, which also, as we're pausing on this pause as you're looking at the history of the Coneheads, let's talk about.
It says the film is based on the NBC Saturday Night Live comedy sketches about aliens stranded on Earth who have anglicized their Remeculan surname Chlorhorn to Conehead.
Okay. Okay, and that is essentially the plot, right? They've been like stranded on Earth because they were shot down, and now they're trying to like make the best of it. And while their rescue is coming,
Yep. They crash landed into the ocean. And it was.
there's also
They might
another.
have gotten shot down.
There's also another really great visual bit right there, because what it does is it pans down and you see
It should
these.
be noted.
This
It should be
buoy.
noted that Connie Conehead, the daughter,
Hmm.
played by Michelle Burke in this,
Yeah.
was originally played by Laraine Newman on SNL.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So different casting. Laraine Newman? Oh my God. Okay, and we're gonna talk about her more because she is so notable, as far as what she's done. Because she's like an actress that worked with SNL. But like if you look at her like credits, it's out of this world. Do you
Well,
do you want
most
to talk?
of the
do you want-
time somebody's on SNL, they do a lot of stuff throughout their life.
Well, this is one of the things that I
Okay.
noticed about her. If this is the woman that I'm thinking about, is that she looks like she's doing the type of work that she doesn't audition for. Somebody calls her. Yeah, this is her. She has 259 credits to her name, and she has 3 projects that are in the works right now. So she was on SNL like early, but she's still working. Which like early, I mean like 78. And she does SNL. She does Coneheads, and then she does SNL like a few years later. And then that's what just to the 70s, so from the 80s to 2000s, 20 years, and then another 20 years forward is 40 years. So she's been working in comedy for 40 years.
Oh yeah, wow. She was on Pinky and the Brain.
Yeah,
Huh.
this is what I'm talking about. Like
The hit?
Laraine Newman. Let's see.
Wow. Hey Arnold.
Okay, and she's another bit actress that shows up. She's sitting next to Phil Hartman at she's like married to him or on a date with him or something. Anyway, they're like coupled up when they're watching the fight that Dan Aykroyd is having at the end of the movie against the parody, the Star Trek parody character, the monster, fighting the monster.
Okay.
But yeah, so she just randomly shows up. But she's probably the most prolific actress, actor and actress out of all the people who are in this cast. And she shows up 15 seconds. She explains that when the 3 moons line up, this monster is released, and that's all she does. But yeah, you want to keep.
That was her. Okay. Yeah.
She's
Now
yeah. You see that she has a lot of credits that are like additional voices, but also she's totally named in so many of these movies that you're like, oh yeah, oh I know of that.
Wow, she's been in. Wow.
You look at right, yeah, okay,
Oh, she was in Despicable Me 4 too.
yeah. She's the Wicked Witch in a children's version of the Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz that ran from 2017 to 2020. Bob's Burgers.
Oh, wow, she's been in a lot of stuff, a lot of kids stuff too.
But yeah, more recently, right? Yeah, she's doing a lot of voice work, which is fantastic. She shows up as additional voices in the Emoji Movie. She's in Despicable 4 and 3. I would imagine she's probably part of the company that does that.
Yep.
When they're like, hey, this is the thing I'm talking about with her, is I don't think she's auditioning for this. They're like, oh, Laraine, we need some more voices. Can we pay you to come in? And she's like, well, my rate's, $500 for the hour. And they're like, well, okay, we're only going to make it 2 hours. Can you come in? Because like you just see that she keeps showing up. Although she was doing live stuff.
She was in Wreck-It Ralph doing additional voices.
I think she's working with.
She was in Metalocalypse.
She's working with Disney, and and has been because again you see in these Paramount productions, she's additional voices in Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, and in Up.
Yeah, this was wow.
Do you see what, like, and she's just this random character who's sitting next to Phil Hartman.
She was even in Fantasia 2000.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, you're like, wow, they got them credits.
Like, I don't know anyone that would want to be in that.
Well, see, and this is the thing I'm saying about her career is she's actually gotten to the place that she's just so well known that when her friends need a favor and they need someone who they know who can do the work, they call her. And so it's like she did the work, of course, early on to like get the attention and to show up and like make the friends and the contacts. But the ones that she met have really turned her career, turned her acting into a career.
Yeah, wow, this is.
Right
Why
after.
I say make as many friends as you can when you're doing your career.
Well, it's interesting if you look at the early part of it. You see that she's just like steady working before she gets the Coneheads job. But she's also she's the one who does the voice for the TV movie, and that's how she gets attached with the project when she does Connie.
Yeah. That was when she got attached to the project, and then she came back again. But she was too old to be Connie anymore.
Well, visually,
so they were like, "We still want you in here." So
probably visually. And then also you recognize that Michelle Burke is the actress from wow all right. I believe Dazed and Confused.
I think so.
Uh,
All right. Hey, you got any weed in there? Be a lot cooler if you did.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Is that am I thinking about the right movie? Is that Dazed and Confused?
Anything?
Yeah, she's Jodie Kramer in Dazed and Confused. Oh. Like the cutie or whatnot.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I think I've seen Dazed and Confused like once.
Okay.
I'll be completely honest.
Gotcha.
I'm one of those people. I'm a little bit of. She was Nikki Reese in Major League too. Okay.
Okay, gotcha. That's a movie, but also you can't sleep on it because it's got Mila Jovovich in it. Like when as like I don't know 19 or something.
And this is crazy. Like all of these people are the who's of 90s comedy.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like you just
90s. And then like she fell in love with my boy Chris Farley. R.I.P. to Chris Farley.
Yeah, R.I.P. to Chris Farley.
That was.
So right, just to kind of tie the story in, right? Like, so they settle in on this planet. The Coneheads settle in on this planet. They have a baby. The baby grows up here, falls in love with the human man. Now, this relationship sort of bothers me because Chris Farley is clearly like 30 or 29, and Michelle Burke is like I don't know, 17, 18.
Well. Have you never heard of the suspension of disbelief?
I do believe that, but I'm also uncomfortable with what Hollywood is doing in the 80s and 90s. Where they're like trying to normalize this.
Grease, when we were supposed to accept that John Travolta was a teenager.
Yes, but they were all the same age because the actress Olivia Newton-John is about the same age as John Travolta. And they have a name in common, so that makes it okay. I'm just kidding.
The part that really caught me off guard was Jason Alexander with hair.
Okay, yeah, okay, that's...
Even though it was a wig, you could tell it was a wig, but it was just like...
But they also call it out. Like, they're on the golf course at one point. He's like, you can't even tell. This is not even all me. Jason Alexander, and also he's married to the woman from Peggy Sue Got Married, the best friend from Peggy Sue Got Married.
What is her name?
I have it. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. It's further along in this story because there's a lot more people who are in this. One of the things
we gotta touch on the reason they're constantly on the move.
I was just about to. Yeah. The reason they're all the way on the move is why.
Is because INS is after them.
Yeah, dude, fucking ICE. Like, this movie is so more prevalent than it ever, like, more relevant than it ever has been.
Like,
because, you know, these aliens who are, like, really great for mankind and choose not to destroy us even though they can, would be hunted by ICE and, like, deported. There's one great scene that the big bad guy, he has a megaphone. This scene is absolutely not necessary except for making us hate this guy.
Lay by and put about. Lay by and put about. Attention, return to your port of embarkation. There is no work for you in the United States. You have no job skills. You will be a drag on our economy. We appreciate your situation, but we have problems of our own. Thank you.
It's just like, God damn, dude.
We cannot solve your employment
We
problems.
can't solve. We're not responsible for the employment problems in the universe. Like, God damn.
That came later. We can no longer solve. That's when he was a prisoner. When they had imprisoned him.
Yeah, exactly. He was wearing a collar, being forced around. The woman's name I was trying to think of was Lisa Jane Persky, who's married to Jason Alexander, and she has a really nice amount of credits, 69 actually.
69.
Nice. And it's interesting to see her, right? Because if you look at it, you see that she's been working TV for a while, which seems like she has a good agent, basically. But she's also in, like, When Harry Met Sally. So, and
apparently she played Meatloaf's mom in the Meatloaf movie, the Meatloaf TV movie, To Hell and Back.
Which, you know, has hit the list of movies that I absolutely want to review, because oh my God, it sounds fantastic. But yeah, exactly. Like, you look at her and you'd be like, okay, she's on shows that are happening, but she's never really an actress, like a recognized actress. Yeah, she does To Hell and Back right after she does 2 episodes of Touched by an Angel.
Yeah. Well, you know who else was on Touched by an Angel, right?
Fucking everybody.
Jack Black.
Oh yeah, Jack Black's on Touched by an Angel. But, like, I mean, we could just go over the list of everybody at one point of who's on Touched by an Angel, because the show ran for a while, and then they just, because they had the problem of the week, they had to constantly be casting people.
I might be thinking of Seventh Heaven.
No, it could be. Jack Black could have been on.
Thinking of Seventh Heaven.
I have to admit that I've seen quite a bit of Touched by an Angel, and by quite a bit, I mean, I think all of it, but I was like, maybe I'd forgotten that Jack Black was in it, because I didn't know who he was at the time. But I
might be thinking of Seventh Heaven.
At one point, we will have to find out. But yeah, so it's, so this woman who did a couple of really iconic movies, based off of that, has had a pretty like solid career. I'm sure her residuals for both of these movies, Coneheads and How Peggy Sue Got Married, are still. I mean, people love both these movies. So Lisa Jane Persky, I hope, is sitting pretty.
You know who we forgot to mention?
Who's that?
Michael Richards.
Oh yeah, and early on too, when they first crash land on the planet, Michael Richards, who is Kramer from Seinfeld, is checking them into the hotel. Like, again, if you want to just talk about, because when did Seinfeld come on? The 90s, right? So Michael Richards is nobody. I mean, he's nobody recognizable at that point.
89 to 98.
89 to 98.
89 to 98.
Okay, so
89 to 98.
Okay, he was on. Okay, so he does this movie while they're filming Seinfeld. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I stand corrected. One thing I also want to comment that we didn't comment on is the movie was made in '93. I think we did mention, but it only has a 5.5 on the IMDb score, which I was sort of shocked at, and not to say kind of appalled. The people are middling Coneheads. Coneheads?
Yeah.
I
know. I talked to my neighbor and I was like, yeah, we're reviewing Coneheads today. And this is a woman in her, like, 70s. She's like, oh, I didn't care for that movie. I'm like, how can you not like Coneheads?
Really?
Are you in America?
So she's on the side of ice, is what you're saying. Okay, I got it. I got it. And the other guy that we didn't call out, there's a couple of guys. There's a couple of minor appearances that we should call out. I think you mentioned early on, I can't remember if it was on the air or off, but there's Sinbad and Eddie Griffin who are in this. Phil Hartman. Phil Hartman is their contact back on their planet. Adam Sandler's the one who gives the guys a false identity, and shows up for.
He's the reason that ICE is after them because
that's
he gives
right,
them
and
guy's identity that they keep catching the same guy.
He keeps selling the same dead guy's identity. And so, yeah, it's so funny. He's just giving this fast monologue, but just a little clip, little scene. He shows up real young, Adam Sandler, probably the same era that he's doing his albums, right? Did we mention David Spade is the guy who is following around the big, like, ice bad guy? I don't know. Right. I don't know if David Spade.
He plays a perfect brown noser.
Yeah, he really does. He
follows around Michael McKean. David Spade and Michael McKean are two main bad guys.
That's the guy I was leading up to. Michael McKean, who is Davy St. Hubbins from Spinal Tap, and just so much more. Just his credits. He's this guy that if you don't know his name, you're going to see his face on the screen as we're talking about it. But if you don't know his name, you've definitely seen his face, and you know, like, the movies that he's in. First of all, This Is Spinal Tap is the most recognizable one in my opinion, as he's one of the band members in there. But he
showed up on Better Call Saul.
Yeah. And for like a large portion of that show, right? Like a few episodes. He's like a main character.
33 episodes.
Yeah, he's part of that show. Better Call Saul, which is a recent one. Michael McKean has been working since the 80s, and is still a current actor, and on shows that are recognizable. I'm trying to like scroll because here's the thing about his IMDb is he has 254 credits. So right up next to Laraine, who we talked about previously, he's right up there with them. Happy Days.
He was in Airheads.
Is one of his early ones.
Airheads.
Yeah, Airheads. I think he's like the exec in Airheads or something like that.
Yeah, he's the asshole executive.
His early most recognizable role, I think, with most people, not most people, but people of a certain era, but is Laverne and Shirley. He does 149 episodes of Laverne and Shirley, from in 76 to 83. And then from there, he's doing This Is Spinal Tap. He's in the movie Clue as Mr. Green.
Oh my God!
He's in Light of Day with Michael J. Fox.
Huh. Okay, I didn't even realize that was him as Mr. Green until you said something.
Right? He's got that face. He just kind of blends in. And you're like, oh, that's the guy. That's the dick. That's the one we have to hate. He's the state trooper in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. He's, I think, the villain in Short Circuit 2. He's in Earth Girls Are Easy.
No, he plays a redeemable character in Short Circuit 2. He plays the sleazy guy that's trying to make money off the one guy and he ends up at one point trying to sell J5.
The robot.
Yeah, he ends up trying to sell the robot, and the robot freaks out and like ends up going out a skyscraper window.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And he just happens to have a hang glider in that one, but yeah.
But he is redeemed at the end.
Yes, he's redeemed.
That is what's up. Okay. That is fun. Actually, Short Circuit and Short Circuit 2 would be fun to review also. So this is just I mean, by the time we get to 93, he's already been working for 20 years in TV and film. Just so well known. And obviously people keep wanting him around for just all the different work. It looks like he has an agent, which is getting him the work that he has. And I don't think he's necessarily trying to play these people, but people are starting to recognize him. And so he gets to play this, basically the ICE agent, who goes all out to try to get these guys.
Yeah. It was actually really. I always wondered though what happened at the end, because they only get to bring one of them back from the planet.
Right, David Spade is
They
left.
leave David Spade as a yes man, ass kisser for the ruler of the planet.
He will probably be fine. Those ass kissers basically are fine. There is something interesting that Sinbad points out when he's trying to acclimate, Barzak or something to whatever his name is. I can't remember. Belzar. Thank you. Yeah, Belzar. He says that you have to be working for yourself. You can't be chained to a desk. There's one more quote that he has. You have to look good. And that's how you win at life. And then right after he says that, you meet David Spade's character, who first is introduced as sitting behind a desk, and then shows that he won't be the type of guy who's chained to sitting behind a desk, because he takes the paperwork from people and then goes to the office, and shows how effective he is at brown-nosing, because he gets the guy up to senator or whatever, and then also when they're on the planet, he ingratiates himself with the king.
Yep, because a guy's taking him the little wand or whatever, as I call it, and he's like, I'll take that. He's having a bad day right now.
He just went throughout the entire movie. He makes sure that he's the guy who's in the right place. He's delegating all the work so he can be with this guy, pumping him up 24 hours a day. And so if you couple those two ideas together, that's kind of the statement of this movie is if you want to win in life, as a true American, this is the way you do it. You become a middle management ass kisser. And you'll never...
That I did not know about Michael McKean. He was in Small Soldiers.
Oh, really? Who's he in Small Soldiers?
Yeah. One moment. I just had it and I just lost.
That's so funny. He has 254. So as I'm scrolling over it, being okay, cool, yeah, look at all the the things that he's done.
He was Insaniac. He had the Frankenstein voice.
I love that for him, that he has this face that I know who you're talking about. Yeah. He has his face is very recognizable, but in audio he can play Insaniac.
So he played the guy who was wrapped up in chains and stuff.
Yeah. I'm gonna probably image on the screen so people can see it. That's why I was laughing, because he's got the long red face, the blue body, So yeah, your man Michael McKean, far outshadows Dan Aykroyd as far as like career goes.
Oh yeah.
And he already had, like Dan Aykroyd is lucky to have him as part of the project. Is probably how Dan felt, because this is the guy from Spinal Tap, like one of the guys, not Christopher Guest obviously, but like on a near equal level. This is the guy from, I don't know his character name was on Laverne and Shirley, but surely Dan had seen him on Laverne and Shirley.
Parker Posey was in that?
Oh yeah,
Wow.
we haven't even gotten to Parker Posey, and you know who is Connie's other friend? Is Joey Lauren Adams from Chasing Amy. The Amy of the one who's being chased, the pursued Amy. No?
Oh my God, the one that he always had that cheesy story about that Kevin Smith told us.
Yes, yeah, it's a very problematic film now, but for Kevin Smith at the time was iconic. There was some like Jay and Silent Bob movies that had come out, and then there was Chasing Amy, which kind of showed that he was like capable of possibly doing more. And maybe I shouldn't pigeonhole her into Chasing Amy because I know her from that. But she has had, she's in Mallrats.
She was in Big Daddy. She's
in Biodome. She's in Dazed and Confused.
She was in Animal. Oh wow, I like 2014's Animal. That was a nice movie.
Okay,
feature.
I saw that pop up. I have not seen it. I'm gonna check it out. Because I know you like horror. Also, she's in Clerks. That's right. I forgot she's part of the whole thing with Kevin Smith, and Chasing Amy is kind of more of a pinnacle movie in the Kevin Smithiverse or whatever you call it. And you see that she's still.
It was a squirrel in Dr. Dolittle too.
She's the voice of the squirrel in Dr. Dolittle too. That's interesting. One of the other the people we just looked up was also in Dr. Dolittle too, which I'm guessing that that's a Lorne Michaels project or something.
Let me check on that for us.
So
director.
It's interesting. She seems to be doing interesting projects more than she's doing things that have really broken out. Because these have never. I mean, she's in Michael, but that's the last one that I can really see. Like, there's a time, like in the 80s and 90s, there's a time where she's like part of a group that's doing things in comedy. But it seems like, and maybe she doesn't need to. I mean, like, her whole Kevin Smith, like, touring and residuals, I'm sure that's definitely going to be paying well. She doesn't necessarily have to be working as much.
Julia Sweeney was the principal.
Yeah, Julia Sweeney, who's another one that we should call out. Because Julia Sweeney, again, it's an actress who you haven't... if you haven't seen her... Like, if you don't know her name, you've seen her. Because she's Pat from It's Pat.
Okay.
Oh, man. And she's also... I think she's the mom in the Beethoven series. Like, with the dog.
No, she wasn't the mom. That was, what's that? Let me check on who that is in...
Whoever she is, whatever character she's a character in all the movies. So if she's
she was. She was in the third Beethoven, but in the. I don't think she was in the. Yeah, because the Newtons got changed by the third movie. The first and second one was. I know Charles Grodin and.
You talking about the mom, Bonnie Hunt?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. That's the
It was Charles Grodin and Bonnie Hunt.
That
was who was originally in Beethoven and Beethoven's second.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
This character shows up in all three of them. Let me pull up Julia Sweeney really quick, to show who it was. So, because I was looking at it, I was definitely like, whoa, like, wow. But then, yeah, you make a good point because the family is changed. I always thought It's Pat is such a bold movie, especially for a female actress. Like, I could see Adam Sandler doing a movie like that without it being, like, such a big deal. But, like, for her to be like, you know, like, I'm ungendered to the point that it's always a joke, is,
Yeah.
like, I'm just like, wow, you know. So I've got, like, mad respect for her for, like, being a comedian who is willing to be as funny as she can be. She's in Gremlins 2, Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. Obviously, It's Pat. We're looking at the Beethoven movies, right?
Yeah.
She shows up as Mrs. Keeper in Stuart Little and also Third Rock from the Sun. Okay, I'm sorry. You are correct. She's in Beethoven's Third and Fourth. As Beth Newton. She takes over the role of the mom, is what you had said, right?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, because it was originally Bonnie Hunt and Charles Grodin instead of Judge Rydell. And yeah.
So a recognizable actress. She just shows up to ask them about the PTA. That's the whole bit that she does.
Yeah.
We see Ellen DeGeneres like giving this coaching tip, and then it cuts to them getting like harassed in the bleachers, being like, "Are you gonna sign up for like a committee or something?" I think that's what her line is.
Let's talk about uncredited people for a sec, because there's a couple here.
Oh, you talking about like John Lovitz?
John Lovitz as the dentist,
the one
Dr. Rudolph.
Yeah, who caps the dude's
Tom
teeth.
Arnold.
Yeah,
Tom Arnold as the golfer.
Okay, so and here's the scene. If you remember, right? Do you know which one it is?
Tom Arnold is the one that like walks up and is standing there. He's the one that has Chris Farley as his caddy.
Yeah, that's the guy. That's the one. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, Chris is like trying to apologize for nearly his daughter. Like, if she wasn't super powerful, Chris was gonna like do it. Like, that movie was about to be a very different movie if Connie wasn't cool as fuck.
Yeah.
Because Chris was,
Well,
and that's
I think that's what the whole point of that scene was to show, hey, she's actually stronger than you think, and she could kick his ass if she wanted to.
Which is cool, but doesn't make a likable character. Just because he could be resisted didn't make him less of a. So,
no, it didn't.
Like, attempted. You know what I mean? I think he's like really, really apologetic for it, really, really. But like, when's the next time he does that? Is my question. I'm concerned about their relationship long term. Although I am glad.
If you remember, she ended up coming on to him later on and did the whole those rings that they wore on their head.
Fair.
That was basically the way they had sex.
You're right. She mind him back, so I guess it is fair, and I don't really have a problem with that because there's no way he knew what he was getting into, right?
No.
Like, there's no way he was like, oh, I'm gonna sign up for this, because you see he's sweating and horrified when they're doing it. Like, he's like about it, but at the same time he's like, oh my god, right? Like, she's like kind of like, yeah, like the look on his face.
And then, like, everything, like, he goes out of his way to make amends for what he did. Like, he even to try to help the family get away from being detained by ICE at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
He takes off on the motorcycle and gets caught and put in the back of a police car for her.
Yeah.
Because he loves her.
Yeah, he does, and he shows up later in a tux. I'm still worried, but like, yeah, maybe it is a mistake. Maybe it because she kisses him.
I think it was meant to be. It was meant to more showcase like how a lot of teenage boys will push too much.
Right.
And it was a reason for Beldar to come out and basically rip open the top of his car.
It does do that.
He
Like
didn't
I
like
was
him and
I was
that he was
definitely like
basically a
fuck Chris
worthless
Farley in
piece
this
of
movie.
shit.
Yeah, but then like proving that he was awesome, because when it comes to the end of the movie, if we don't see something like that, then we're like, no, there's no way he's gonna get out of this. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, and actually the end of the movie is super satisfying. There's a lot of like SNL movies or like sketch concepts that get turned into movies they think are gonna sell that don't. Their third act sucks. Like it starts out fun. There's a cool like middle section where like you get to explore the universe a little bit, and then they can't figure out what to do to wrap it up, right? And I don't feel that way about Coneheads.
I think Coneheads is a well done movie. I know a lot of people are gonna probably hear this and be like, "Well, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's an autistic guy." You know what? Autistic people love movies, so fuck off.
Well, no, by fuck off, I think I'm gonna translate that too as comment below to say why we don't know what we're talking about, because that's absolutely fine to have a different opinion about this film than we do. No, yeah, I mean, because you can be like you don't agree with me, and that's okay. Like we can have a difference in opinion, but like also. Yeah, please tell us why we hate it. Because for
exactly, I would like to know why
I can't figure it out.
Opinion.
Yeah, I literally can't figure out why Coneheads is sitting at 5.5. Like, I really think it should be up at 8, at least an 8. And because so here's a couple of things we're talking about in this movie. They've got live sets and props. It's flawless cinematography that has some really great gags, cinematography wise. Actually, I want to show you one in a bit here, of one gag that I just think is so funny. This a camera gag. And then, so for those things. And then, like I said, the whole rest of this cast, like, you can't ask for a more star-studded cast historically. Now, while they're not known at the time, almost, like we're pointing out, almost every single person on this film is either really well known or becomes really well known after they do the Coneheads.
Yeah.
So, like, that's why I can't believe that people first hate this movie, when it's just campy and fun, and it has no other like really thing to it at all. Like, it's just an entertaining movie that like supports itself all the way through.
And it's based off a simple concept of they're aliens from another planet that don't really understand us and we don't understand them, or they understand us better than we understand ourselves.
That seems to be more the case. Like, they definitely, like, they're observers and they're intelligent, and they get what the world is about. But humans seem to be so dumb they can't pick up on it.
There was a point where she kind of was naive to the fact that a woman was hitting on Beldar by constantly taking his driver's ed class.
Well, that's not how it works, right? I mean, she finds out later. There is one thing that I want to point out really quick, and that is just that the 90s is such an awful time stylistically speaking.
Like, some of the stuff reminds me, like, some of the outfits remind me of stuff my grandma Becky wore. Like, with the pronounced shoulders and stuff, like, with the shoulder pads.
Yeah. This picture. You're talking about the padded shoulders. I'm so glad that those are gone. I'm sure they're coming back in another, like, 10 years or whatever.
Probably about 5.
Yeah, that's probably fair. Huge buttons, that gold color. That they're, like, those buttons and her necklace had that same like brassy like, and then the loud colors and prints. These were all.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
And then
I'm
look
just
out.
watching this and I'm.
Look how it matches even the decor of the wall behind him, though. Like
Yeah,
that's what
like,
the late '80s and '90s looked like. Was
yeah.
that yeah? Um,
Well,
I sorry, what?
it's really interesting because even if you notice, her purse was the same style as her what
Oh
is
yeah,
that?
that's yeah. Poinsettia
Even her
is the right
purse
way to
had,
call that. It feels so Christmassy. It's so like wrong, but that was like what people wore like casually.
yeah. I remember people dressing like that.
So it might be the last era, last decade where we actually had styles that were distinct. Because for the last
Yeah.
like 25 years or 30 years, it's kind of been pretty consistent. More people, from what I understand, have been focusing on their online avatars than their clothes, because we're becoming transhuman.
Heck, I'm wearing a coat that I've had for the past 6-7 years.
If it ain't
Like,
broke,
from when I used to weigh almost 475 pounds. Yeah,
oh
like
well,
I'm wearing a big coat.
that might
And
be a little bit big for you.
yeah. Like I'm not that big into how I look as I am just how I am.
Right. Well, if the coat's warm, right, and you're attached to it because it's a good old friend of yours, keep it. Even if you change
It's
slightly.
such a good friend. I have conversations with it. I keep telling him he needs to shape up.
I got you, and not in the same fluffy coat shape you were before. I do want to call
You
out
know
this.
what we
This
forgot
is
to mention?
this is the Cox and Space podcast. It's behind the scenes, flicker with skip episode. We're here with Dylan Farr, and if you want to find out more about us, you can go to coxandspace.com. You can go onto our Discord and check out all the things that we're doing on there, all the shows that we have going on. You can catch them live. You can also check out our Facebook and hang out with the people who hang up there. As there's also on that our Patreon. If you want to find out,
forgot to mention
one more
the
thing.
fact that they sleep standing up.
That's true. So guys, if you want to check that out, you can do that.
Okay.
And also, they sleep standing up. Do you want to see this clip?
What the heck happened? I can't hear you.
Okay, let me reconnect. How's that?
Ah, there you are.
Nice.
I was like, you just cut off, and I was like, what just happened?
I'm
like,
glad.
am I gonna have to start singing and dancing to keep people entertained?
I'm glad you said something right away. Yeah, so I just want to make sure we did that shout out and then also call out the year. You can find out all your socials on Autistic Spitfire Comedy, on all the socials, and then also show you this clip because one of the things is that they do sleep standing up. It's so silly. And they do it throughout the movie, but then they do this gag right here. I'm going to share my screen so you can see it, because I think there's two really fun things that happen in the scene. One of them, it shows how good like his character is with his wife, like what a great relationship they have, and then the other one is this camera gag that they pull. As they like play with your perception of everything. Here it is.
This scene.
You know what I'm talking about, yeah.
Let us suppose for some reason my life function ceased. What would you do?
What would you do?
I would incinerate your carcass in the tradition of Obadiah the Obtuse and put it in a clean, dry place.
Would you find a new genetomate to bring to our gut?
Genetomate.
Propagate?
Genetomate.
Ah, my most precious one. I would collapse. I would draw the shades, and I would live in the dark. I would never get out of my slur pad nor clean myself. My fluids would coagulate, my cone would shrivel, and I would die. Miserable and lonely. The stench would be great.
Well, Beldar, you have made me very happy.
Yes, I know. Good night.
And then you zoom out, and you find that they're sleeping standing up.
I still love how they have the side tables
They have
on the ceiling.
Yeah, but they wanted to make it so it felt, normal. And so, but yeah, they're actually sleeping against the wall, and it's just the camera zooming out on them. And and that's, again, this is one of those things I can't believe that it's only getting a 5.5 because those are like in the movie. That's part of the gag that's like built into it. And then also you see Dan Aykroyd's performance, which is he's just so like lovable and sincere while he's being so weird.
I know it. I don't know how to explain it. I've heard that Dan Aykroyd is a nice guy in real life, but at the same time, people used to say Chevy Chase was nice.
Do you mean Chevy Chase on coke or off coke? That's probably two different people, or personalities rather.
I heard Chevy Chase is just an asshole in real life, is what a lot of people have said. Like Richard Pryor was like, I don't like Chevy much on an actual TV show. And I don't know whether or not Richard was actually joking or what, but when it came to Richard Pryor, if Richard Pryor said something, it usually held an amount of truth to it.
Right, yeah, he wasn't just like trying to start beef with people, right?
No, he wasn't.
So
it's one of those things, like, the personas they put out are completely different than what we see,
Absolutely.
What we get to see and what they are in real life are two completely different things. But it's the same with how we are. What we see here, we try to put out our best foot, but sometimes we can be real assholes when it comes down to things, you know what I mean?
Well, I think that most people come to understand that, especially in the era of parasocial relationships, right? Where we really just see each other on our social feeds. We don't interact with each other on a regular basis. So we understand the concept of image, right? The same way that celebrities have been dealing with it for years. But also, I feel like in some ways, when you watch a person act, they can't help but show you who they are. And
Chevy always came off as a lovable asshole.
There you go. So the idea that it's surprised that he's an asshole, I'm like, I don't think so. Like, I think we kind of knew he was. We just kind of loved him. And now that he's becoming less lovable, we're like, oh, just an asshole then.
Yeah. It's one of those things. It's like, oh, he's a lovable asshole. Now he's just an asshole. Yeah. Maybe he was just an asshole the entire time, and we just didn't know anything because we just thought he was lovable.
Right. And there's the people who are saying that. But like, so Dan Aykroyd also wrote this script in part. There's 4 script writers on them. Actually, we're gonna look at another one of them in a second here because it's funny who they wrote in, and there are 2 that we have completely slept on. So he's the one who wanted to, he's also probably the one who convinced Lorne Michaels that they want to take this Coneheads thing into it and make it into a movie, and because it. Does this one follow Ghostbusters?
Yeah, this would be after. Let me see if this was.
Because isn't Ghostbusters in like the 80s? Like, I think Ghostbusters, if I remember correctly, is like
84.
I was gonna guess, like 87, 89. If we had money, we'd take a gamble right now to figure out what it is. But 84, you are correct, 84. Good brain. 89
Yeah,
is
but
Ghostbusters
then-
2.
Okay, so that was 89. Okay.
Yeah. So he has a success from Ghostbusters, right? And so getting Lorne Michaels to produce this is not that difficult of a thing to do. What's up, man? Welcome to Flicking the Skip. Curtis Wolf, stand-up comic. You might know Dylan Farr, another stand-up comic who's in your area.
Hey, Curtis.
We just passed the first hour of talking about Coneheads. Probably moving into the wrapping it up. As we've been looking at Coneheads as a movie that is the who's who of 90s comedy, ladies and early 90s comedy.
Like, the only one I don't see in there is Rob Schneider.
Well, yeah, that's really weird, right? That Rob Schneider isn't on this. I guess he was busy doing an Adam Sandler movie. Oh, wait, no, Adam Sandler's still pretty young. He's not. Well, it's not that he's not, because Billy Madison is coming out around the same time, too. Because isn't Billy Madison like 91?
Let me see what Rob Schneider was doing in
Oh, no, I'm
93.
sorry. Billy Madison is... Oh, wait, hang on. Why are there so many listings for Billy Madison besides the movie itself? 1995. Billy Madison comes out after this. So, and that's his first, like, really... No, it's Happy Madison. So it's...
Do you want to know what he was doing in 93?
Who? Adam Sandler?
No, Rob Schneider. The reason he wasn't in this.
I do. What was he doing in 93?
Okay, he was in Surf Ninjas.
Oh my god. He was doing Surf Ninjas the
Beverly
year
Hills
instead of
Village.
Coneheads? Oh my god, he missed out. Like, he missed the boat.
Buddy. He was in the short Buddy, and then get this, Demolition Man.
He's in... Oh, that's right. He's the fucking cop in Demolition Man. All right. Then we're looking at the reason that Rob Schneider's not in Coneheads next week. We're reviewing Demolition Man just to see why it was so important for him not to be in that movie. That's so weird because he's so miscast in that movie. He should be in Coneheads.
Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed Surf Ninjas. Surf Ninjas for my brothers and I growing up was something we watched.
Oh no, the movie the movie's not bad, right? Like but it's just why is Rob Schneider in that movie? Well, it's not bad in the way. I mean, it's not bad in the way that it's bad in the way that it's not bad. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Like it's enjoyable in its camp.
Yes.
But it's not Coneheads.
The writing was not. Yeah, it was not Coneheads.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
So like
really interesting. It's really interesting that he did Demolition Man the same year he did. He could have done Coneheads.
he could have done Coneheads.
He passed on Coneheads for Surf Ninjas and Demolition Man.
Demolition Man. And maybe Surf Ninjas was like the after, like he does Demolition Man. He's like, oh shit, I miss Coneheads. And he's like, I'll do Surf Ninjas instead. You know. Rob Schneider.
Surf Ninjas came before Demolition Man.
That might be true that they came out. I was thinking, as far as production goes, Surf Ninjas would be way easier to like edit and produce than Demolition Man would, and they were probably having a schedule. Anyway, I don't know if this is true at all. This is just a guess that Surf Ninjas was the second movie that he filmed because he could like pick it up basically at the end of the year. I don't know. I don't know why I even ran with that concept at all. I have no data or stories. It's pure speculation. That was like 100% just like raw nonsense.
Look it up. Which came out first?
Well, again, like it was just like which one comes out first doesn't necessarily mean which one's filmed first. Because sometimes movies will sit in like a can, you know, like just like edited and not released for years before they come out. And so that's why you'll see like actors be in the same movies at the same time, but will be markedly younger in one of the movies.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
You made it.
I figured it out. I had to do some shit on the PC to get the audio right.
I'm glad that you did it. Yeah, but when he's doing Coneheads, and when Adam
Surf
Sandler
Ninjas was filmed first, as it was released on August 20th, 1993, while Demolition Man was released later on October 8th, 1993.
and if it is true that they released it right after they filmed it, then yes, I would agree with you. That would make the most sense. And again, my is just speculation on what it is. I think he is terribly miscast in Demolition Man, but we'll talk about that next week.
Yeah, Surf Ninjas was one of those movies that was cashing in on Three Ninjas, like Kick, where they wanted kids
100%.
ninja movie.
100%. Yeah, kids as ninjas, and as long as it had that in the title, a kid who's at the video store is gonna confuse it and rent that movie instead.
Yeah.
That is absolutely why that movie exists. And you know, Schneider probably knows it. But it's a weird relationship. Like in this movie, we have Connie and Chris Farley, where there's a huge age gap, and then obviously, and then the romance part. But then they have a best friend who's like 20 years older than them. The surfer guy.
No. Supposedly Rob Schneider was the same age as them.
Is that the? No, come on.
He was supposed to be in high school as well. Yeah.
So what are you guys talking about? I hear Coneheads. I don't know what the topic is.
Yeah, so we've been discussing how Coneheads is the iconic who's who of the late 80s, early 90s, because it has everybody in it. And there, from Ellen DeGeneres to Jan Hooks to Kevin Nealon, who we haven't mentioned, to Eddie Griffin, Sinbad, Michelle Burke, who was known at that time, is acting. John Lovitz is in it. Michael McKean, David Spade, Adam Sandler. So it's just we've just been going through the whole list. We're actually about to wrap up, so this is maybe not a bad time for you to come in. Wrap up in the next 15 minutes, our thoughts and prayers for Coneheads.
Oh yeah.
Dylan, you want to kick it off? Do you have anything in particular that you think that we should definitely be getting in this last few minutes?
The fact that they never tell you how far away Remulac is from Earth. So it makes you wonder, is it in the same, is it still in our, solar system? Is it in a different one? How fast do their ships move? So they don't tell these things.
Well, they don't, but we do know that the Remulac is in a planet that has 3 moons. So it's not here. And it is a cool feature, and then also their ships must go really fast wherever they're going. They're so more advanced than we are. I mean, they communicate telepathically, where you can see their whole mind. I'm guessing that's what the senso rings are for.
Yeah. Or what about the fact that when she announces her pregnancy? There's a little Jaws moment of the little baby cone going across her stomach.
The baby slow cone pops up. Yeah, I do love the practical effects in this movie, and also the early '90s CG. It's they're doing their best, but at one point she eats a Subway sandwich. It's so bad CG that goes straight in her mouth.
You know what I think is the funniest part is when he's at the dentist and he has to open his mouth.
I was just thinking about that. Yeah, I was just thinking about that. I almost pulled it as a clip because it's so funny because it's his face and you can see they've done an actual prop, but it's claymation, right? So they just do a series of shots over his face as they built it out. So it was a very patient shot. Yeah, when he's finally all
or
opened up, you see all his teeth on the inside. Yeah.
like he has like 3 layers of teeth.
Oh my god, he's a goddamn shark, right?
They're all like baby teeth too. They're all like, or they just look small because his face
huge.
is so huge. I don't
Hey,
know.
It's so funny that sequence too, because okay, so that's John Lovitz, of course, who's the dentist who's working on them in that bit, and then the thing that happens is he gets put under from the laughing gas, which is put straight in the dude's mouth, and then he wakes up from surgery and is on the run from ICE. He's like the orthodontic tampons are like falling out of his mouth as they're running.
Yep.
Remember? Dude, that movie's a classic.
That's what I'm saying.
Got into at the end, but I got a comment on the condom thing too.
Thank you. That was the next thing I was going to bring up.
Condom is chewing gum.
Condom is chewing gum. It happens in the beginning of the movie with Sinbad. It happens at the end of the movie again when David Spade's like, "You're about to take over the world. You're a great man." And you turn back to the leader, and he like blows the condom out. Oh my god, it's too much.
I am gonna say, I was a little dumb as a kid because I thought that's actually what chewing gum looked like sometimes.
Well, it's those things that like they don't call it out in a way that is like too wrong. So like it's gonna fly over the heads of kids. Like you're only supposed to catch it as an adult.
Yep.
One thing
you don't even think of it as a kid. Like, you don't even know what they're talking about.
You have no idea.
Start chewing on some shit.
That's what gum looks like. I've never seen gum like that before. I have not seen it. I want to show you guys one of the writers. He's really well known. He's famous, SNL famous, because he worked on the show from 1978 until 2005. This and has done so much voice work. I wanted to save him to the end, so this is why I'm putting him up here. But not only that, he also wrote himself the greatest bit. So because he shows up in a couple of places here. Let me show this for you real quick so you can see his face. It's Tom Davis. If you guys haven't seen it, let me get to where you are and do this again. I think it's. Nope. Here you go. Are you able to see that?
Yep.
Unglarious prof, High Master. I know every cone is allowed but 4 uses of the Bitumia's pleasure spool, and I partook 6. I realize the error of these actions, and I vow they will never be repeated. I throw myself at your Murtex. Creme not snarflail. Marty!
Alright, so that's the writer, and then also the high overlord is another writer of it. It's Davis Tom and Tom Davis.
So that's like a complete passion project right there.
Well,
they wanted to do that.
Yeah, they're part of SNL, which means that they're tied in with Lorne Michaels, who's the producer of the show, and this movie. And so, I'm sure that they were like, he was like, "Hey, who do you want to play? If you could play anyone in the script," and they're like, "I want to play the guy who's addicted to Conehead pornography, and I want him to be playing the High Lord. Like, it'll be the funniest shit ever." And like it is. Honestly, it's like that I think you were about to say, like, this movie is a classic, and get this. It's only rated 5.5 on IMDb. Like this classic comedy that is starring everybody.
A lot of movies I feel like are cult classics. Like, not all of us have watched Coneheads. I've run into a lot of people that have never seen it. It's just one of those SNL highlights, like Night at the Roxbury as well.
Fair.
They all fail for some reason, but these are great movies. I love Night at the Roxbury. I love Coneheads. And when I figured out that they're all, I think the David Spade and Chris Farley ones didn't do that good.
Also
Tommy
great.
Boy, Black Sheep.
Yeah, Tommy Boy, Black Sheep. Yeah.
They all did very average, considering these are SNL stars, like the biggest in entertainment at the time. Still didn't do that good for some reason. But I never knew they were all SNL developed until later.
Well, and see, that's the thing for me is that I don't feel like Coneheads needs to have any sort of backstory on SNL, even though once you look at it, you see that it is all cast with people from SNL and all the friends that they know. And you look at the producer, obviously it's an SNL movie.
I think that's the, like, for the most part, back in the day, SNL was able to do that. The characters were so unique and cool, and they had usually just a room and a setup to do a story that they could make into a movie at some point, which is crazy. If you compare it to now, SNL is so dry and just, it's not really unique at all. They almost all act the same. They all, like, act all like, I can't believe she said that. Like, they have like a very scripted dialogue compared to back in the day. Every actor had their own persona.
Yeah. Dylan?
I don't watch SNL anymore because I don't find it enjoyable.
Yeah,
I can't.
It's definitely become very derivative versus what you're talking about is where Dan Aykroyd is making up a super weirdo. Like, what kind of character is a Coneheads character that behaves like this? And who would be audacious enough to think that that could be made into a movie? But it works really well. I mean, it's got a lot of heart. It's got really good jokes. It has a complete world with a complete cast.
I believe you can make anything awesome. If you have a good writer and a good director, you can make the stupidest plot awesome. But it doesn't always happen.
No, it does not.
But then there's a lot of underrated movies like Office Space bombed, Idiocracy bombed.
That's
so
crazy.
Everybody thinks of them.
on both of those counts. First of all, because it's Mike Judge, so y'all need to show some respect.
You would think.
And
King of the Hill.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Like, he needs to show some respect to a master of storytelling. Also, those movies, without even knowing that, are really fantastic stories. I think that they're probably too abrasive for some people to, like, really appreciate the humor of them. And abrasive, I mean, like, they make you confront things that people are uncomfortable with. Corporate America and being unhappy with it is not going to be a super popular theme in capitalist America.
You see that now, though. These are normal topics, but in 1998, apparently no one wanted to go, or maybe they didn't know what the movie was. The trailer was bad, or didn't describe it enough.
No, it was definitely a sleeper. Like, like that sort of idea. It's very subversive to be trying to sell as a popular movie. It's going to be something that's not going to be.
I found Idiocracy just hilarious. The fact that everyone was wearing Crocs. They tried to pick a line of shoe that they thought was never going to be popular or anything.
Right, it's going to be the stupidest,
like, really cheap and affordable. And now everyone's wearing fucking Crocs. There are designer Crocs now.
Well, and crops do need electrolytes. So,
that movie, I remember hearing a story about how the Idiocracy production, they signed a bunch of deals with, like, Starbucks and all the Mountain Dew and everything, and the companies actually thought that the movie was going to highlight them, and I think they got really mad or backed out or some shit, and that's why it released in, like, no theaters, because, like, everyone backed out. The Mountain Dew people were pissed because they made it, like, the national drink, and it was unhealthy, and
well, no, it's the name of the dude, President Mountain Dew, Camacho.
President Camacho.
Mountain Dew.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's we should definitely cover Idiocracy at one point too, because it's such a goddamn funny movie. And I'm gonna pull up the score real quick just to see if that, because you say it bombed, and I believe you, but I want to see to what degree people are panning this movie, especially now when it's becoming very, like, real. I don't know if that makes the movie more likable or less likable.
I mean, you also have to think a lot of people don't do reviews. Like, you gotta be kind of like a movie nerd geek type to actually go on IMDb, which I do. I have an IMDb account and I did a couple of reviews for fun.
Right.
But, like, most people don't do that, so you're not getting, like, a full consensus. You're getting, like, an average group of people. So it depends. If it's a niche, you're probably gonna get low reviews no matter what. I'll say a movie that I think was good rated at a 5, and I'm like, it's at least a solid 7, 6, 7.
Right, 6, 7. Yeah, for sure. But and that's the thing with IMDb is like I'm really wondering like the average viewer, because like I understand that my taste is not everyone's taste, and that's fine. Like I would be the reason why some movies are rated higher and some movies are rated lower. There's a huge fan base that wanted to watch Cats, and that's why they put that movie out. I was not one of them. I saw it, and it's garbage, hot garbage, in my opinion. Even though I love Cats, but not as a musical and not presented in that way.
I feel like Rotten Tomatoes is the best when it comes to like an audience score. Usually that's always accurate. Like if you look at the audience score and then you watch the movie, 9 times out of 10, if it's like 70% up, it's going to be a decent movie. But everywhere else, it's like IMDb, I did reviews that never passed, and like I don't know how they gatekeep it, but it's a lot more shitty than Rotten Tomatoes, it seems. Rotten Tomatoes just takes in anyone's fucking review, which you can get a lot of bots that are, fuck it up too and say the same exact thing over. So there's really no way to know anymore. Because you go down the Rotten Tomatoes reviews and they all, like, you'll have like 6 in a row. It was such a great, phenomenal experience. I couldn't believe my eyes 6 times. And you'd be like, well, this is obviously all fucked up. These aren't genuine people.
Yeah, so if we want to talk about Coneheads on Rotten Tomatoes, it's actually getting a lower score. 40%. It's getting a 40%. And then the popcorn meter is at 38%.
Well, is that the audience score?
That's what we got.
Wow.
Yep.
I wonder what Adam Sandler's is, because I know the critics hammered all of his classics, but I don't know if I ever looked at the audience scores for like Happy Gilmore and Waterboy and shit, because those movies got panned as dog shit by Hollywood, and they made a lot of money.
Right. Well, and that's the thing about these movies is you can see that they've made a lot of money. Like the actors who are in them, there's some of them who are just working out for residuals for the rest of their career. You see that they're not doing a whole lot, but they're still showing up to a lot of conventions. They're still showing up. Like for the 15 and 30-year anniversary. Like Lorne Michaels is still like pumping it up and producing it. Coneheads and the rest of the SNL movies have not just like disappeared over time.
Well, that's like an actor that lives off residuals of being known for one role mainly. Look at different genre, different movie, like completely. Doug Bradley.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Like he still makes a bunch of money off of doing like cameo videos and stuff, because he was so iconic to a lot of people.
Right. Well,
if you can make yourself memorable enough in a role, you can live off that role for the rest of your life. What was it Steve Harvey used to say? I've been telling the same damn jokes for over 30 years.
Well, I mean, I feel like it's all preference though, because like there's 2 great examples of people that take a completely different note on superhero movies. You have Chris Hemsworth that he said, if the script's good, I'll play Thor for the rest of my life, because it's obviously a fucking easy paycheck. He likes the role, makes sense as a person. Then you have people like Tobey Maguire there's Leonardo DiCaprio. There's a bunch of actors that don't want to get aligned with one character and be only known for that.
Oh, yeah.
Because then you can't really, like, they'll always see that. And it is true, because some people are like that, some aren't. Like Tobey Maguire, if you watch him in Brothers, all I see is a pissed off Peter Parker that was a Marine. And I'm like, I can't unsee it.
Right. Yeah, it's
but
a big problem with
people that
actors.
are stuck in a role. You get the people that are stuck in the role forever when they all, like, for instance, Sean William Scott quit acting because he kept being typecast as Stifler.
Yeah,
there's always some variation of Stifler.
Unfortunate,
yeah. He's
a
like, would you care though? Like, if that becomes your thing, why not just rack in the dough and do something did you never like being Stifler? Was that the problem? Like, you're like, I just did this one thing. I didn't know it was going to be my whole fucking career. That was the only idea I can think of. Like, you're wanting to do something else.
That was what he said. He said he got sick of being typecast like that. He's like, I can do so much more. And they keep casting me as this doofus.
Granted.
And guys, we on that note, we are actually going to wrap up the Coneheads review. We're going to discuss this more in the green room for sure, but that's kind of our time for Coneheads, and kind of looking at all the who's who of people who are in there. Some of the names that we did miss, I'm just going to call out real quick. Tim Meadows shows up briefly.
Yep.
Mitchell Bobrow from Black Belt shows up as one of the guards. Peter Aykroyd shows up, obviously Dan's brother.
Let it be written. Are you writing this? That Baldar shall return to the Humocarb planet, where he shall conquer the Blunt Skull.
There's one more dude that I wanted to be like, there's this fantastic stuntman who Niels Allen Stewart, who has 120 credits as an actor and 154 credits and 15 in the works at 64 as a stuntman. Sorry to throw off the vibe right here at the end, but we would be remiss not to mention Garrett Morris, who is also in this movie. Garrett Morris, who is probably most known for Two Broke Girls, although his credits, I mean, he's got 116 with 2 upcoming this year. But he's been in Ant-Man, the new MacGyver series, probably the old MacGyver series, just playing, I'm not sure about that. Family Guy, he's in How High. According to Jim, he's worked... he's faced on the screen, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, Garrett Morris, who has been in just so many different things, that he shows up as, just that character